writes for the American Spectator, the Wall Street Journal. I was telling him, I read his column in the New York Times every week. It's very insightful analysis of our economy and a number of other issues. So the IQ in the Capitol, the average IQ in the Capitol is a little bit higher because of his, probably a lot higher because of his presence with us this evening. It's a real privilege to be with somebody that is, again, as I said, an entertainer. I know he won't let his Hollywood glamour overcome the importance of his subject that we're discussing tonight. So without further ado, Stein will introduce his film.
Steven, so I'm a bit familiar with the area. But anyway, thank you so very much for having us here, Governor. It's a great honor. Everybody who came here, it's an honor that you came to watch our little movie. We started to make this movie for the same reason that you're called the Show Me State. We were skeptical. We were skeptical about Darwinism. We were skeptical about the idea that a theory based on really a very modest amount of evidence could explain everything about how the universe worked. We were skeptical about the idea that studies of the beaks of birds could explain where gravity came from. We were skeptical about studies about the tail feathers of birds could explain where the laws of thermodynamics came from. We were skeptical about the fact that nothing in Darwinian theory explains where life began. And we were very, very skeptical about the idea that people who even questioned Darwinism the slightest little bit, even the tiniest little bit, lost their jobs. And this did not seem to be like the America that we know. People died fighting for the principle of freedom of speech and freedom of inquiry. A lot of very good people. If you go to any military cemetery in Missouri or anywhere else, especially Arlington, you see the graves of a lot of people who died for an incredibly good cause, freedom of speech and freedom of inquiry. We wonder what happened to it. Where did political correctness come along? Where did that come from? And allow that to trump freedom of speech. So that is what our movie is about. What's Darwinism about? Is there an alternative theory that possibly touches God, that is perhaps a better explanation of existence, matter, energy? And if it is even conceivably an explanation, why is it not allowed to be taught in the schools or even mentioned? And we are very, very happy that brave people in this state have introduced legislation so that you can at least question Darwinism. We're not saying you should put Darwinists in prison. We're not saying you should teach creationism. Just be allowed to question it and don't be in danger of losing your job or your home or your family or your friends. So we would just like people to have the same spirit of skepticism that has marked your state forever. We are honored that you give us this chance to show this movie to you. At first you're going to think it's all talking. It isn't. It goes real fast as it gets going. Thank you very, very much. You're very kind. Thank you.